where we are. We're at war, and it's only gonna get worse. And this is the best fucking system. I mean, God couldn't have made a better system. How to make a ton of money. Exactly like I said it. Corona 2's coming, and then Corona 3, and Dr. Fauci now, well, but he said it was for your own good, because you can't take the truth. First rule of crisis management, lie. And when I said that in March, I mean, I took so much shit about it. Now, it was COVID, and he died while they were giving him CPR on the fucking plane. Now, 180 people on that motherfucking plane. 180. What are they doing to trace and track? Probably nothing. All those people are got Corona now. You don't know, and this is why it's gonna last forever. There's a reason why Warren Buffett and Dan Peña said airlines are through for fucking ever. How are they gonna deal with it? Now some of the airlines are saying, well, we're gonna make you take a test for $240. Well, nobody's gonna take the fucking test. The average Pollyanna meathead has not thought this through at all. They don't wanna think it through. We're done. We're toast. We had a doctor here last seminar. His wife's a doctor. When something happens and they ask for doctors, he makes his wife keep her hand down and they don't raise their hands. Not necessarily because of this, but because then if I'm a doctor and I help you and you die, then you sue me for malpractice. That's where we are now. Unless you're a real goody two-shoes, why would you raise your hand? No good deed goes unpunished. The sweetest people that I know are the people, you could also say the weakest people that I know are the people that are suffering the most. This is survival of the fittest vis-a-vis QLA. It is now coronas on all 7 continents. In Antarctica, South Pole, where Sally and I was at that scientific center, 26 out of 36 have it. 26 out of 36. Fuck. That means it's been there a while. What's the first rule of crisis management? Lie to the people because they can't take the truth. Did the Brits tell the people here on this great island they were losing the war from 1939 to 1942, beginning of 43? No! Churchill just went around with a cigar in his mouth, half drunk, going like this. Yet we have people on the news picking apart the governments because they weren't as accurate about this. It's because they're just guessing. That's why they're not accurate. Somebody's got to cross the T's. Somebody's got to dot the motherfucking I's, right? It's probably not going to be you. In fact, I don't want it to be you, but it's somebody on the fucking board. That's why these boards are in transition. The board you have on the first few deals is probably not going to be the same board you have on the next few deals. And then, oh, you get panicked, your knickers in a twist because, oh, I gave them stock already. I know how you think. So you gave them stock. So what? That's the pay price to action for doing your first few deals. You'd rather be liked than effective. If that's not the truth and you've been so ineffective so far and you pretend to say that you don't care about being liked, well, then you're a fucking retard. You're brain dead. But the 3 or 4 of you in this room that think that you don't want to be liked as opposed to being effective, then something's not right with you. Because if you've lived your life not caring about being liked, you should have a lot of fucking money now. So you are retarded. A lot of you are going to be told by your boards, if you haven't already been told by your boards, well, this is so small, we can do the due diligence ourselves. We don't have to go to our big-time accountants and spend money. 9 times out of 10, and that's wrong. Not the part that you're going to save money. 1, you shouldn't be worried about saving the money because it's not your fucking money. But number 2, you miss shit. I'm not saying they don't take it seriously. They should take it seriously because they're getting free founders equity, right? And the real thing is, there is no penalty if they make a mistake. Nobody on the planet, almost nobody's held accountable. You know yourself. Other than me, who holds you accountable? Nobody. And I learned that management style as a young Army officer, and I was blessed. I reported to 2 hard-ass fucking general officers. They weren't interested that I had a hangover. They weren't interested I had diarrhea. They weren't interested I had the fucking flu. They weren't interested that my car broke down. They weren't interested that my driver, his wife had a baby. They didn't give a fuck. All they know is it's 800 hours. Where the fuck's Peña? That sorry fucking Mexican trash. 1 second after 8. And remember what leadership is. It's me getting you and you and you to do what I want you to do when I want you to do it. That's leadership. The doofus idiot, well, where do I go? How can I do that? Instead of just saying, yes, sir. You see the difference in the thought process? Let's just spend a moment asking ourselves legitimately, no bullshit, why you wouldn't go to the head of the SPA. And don't tell me you would. There's 2 or 3 of you I know how well, I would. You wouldn't be here. Why wouldn't you go to the head of the SPA? To carry your banner, to run towards the gunfire. Why wouldn't you call them? Why? No balls. I told you, you got to make a decision. Would you rather be liked or effective? You can't be both. Because I know how you pea-brains think. How many times have I said, 9 times out of 10, a broker's going to fuck you? Almost everybody in this room is using a broker. I'm going to say it again. 9 times out of 10, they're going to fuck you. And almost everybody in this room and everybody in Meatheadville are using brokers. Why? Because it's easier, ostensibly. Because they have all the information in one source. That's what you think. Most of the deals that I see that are getting done are without a broker. But you're still going to use a broker. Why? And he'd be seeing self-sabotaging activity all fucking day long. All this nurturing shit doesn't work. And now it's more nurturing than it was 25, 30, 40, 50 years ago. Your parents probably were not raised like you. They had a harder life. And their parents, which are probably from the World War II, and now the UK's whinging about all this shit. They're going to cancel their Christmas. Who gives a fuck? We're here working on Christmas Day. And either you're smart enough not to whinge about it, or you don't give a shit, otherwise you wouldn't be here, right? You would rather make money in 2021. Well, what you learn here? All the guys did a lot of ugly things. So the real question is, how much ugliness are you willing to do? That's the real motherfucking question. How much ugliness? If you want to be a big motherfucking hitter, you want to be big multi-billionaire, how much ugliness are you willing to do? I've fired divisions before. Thousands and thousands of people that I put out of work, you know, some of which had to go bankrupt because the government didn't come and bail them out. I'm okay with that. I didn't lose not one fucking iota of sleep. Some of you have never fired anybody in your life. I hope I'm wrong when I say this. Some of you will never fire anybody in your life, and if that's the case, you're going to fail at QLA. Because the first board is in transition. And if you can't pull the trigger on them, I don't mean literally, but figuratively, you're gonna be stuck with guys and gals that take you down the toilet. So how much ugliness are you willing to swallow? How much ugliness are your wife willing to swallow to watch you change? How much ugliness are your kids, if your kids mean anything to you, or with their thought process, or how they feel? Because you still want to be loved by them. Whereas Steve Jobs and I didn't even want to be liked by them. At least I admitted the kids were mine. Do you see? And it's one thing for you to say, I don't care what people say or think about me, and it's a completely different thing to act that way. When I came to Britain, and I was wearing a brown suit, I still remember this. I show up at a meeting, everybody's got dark gray or black suits. And somebody, a nice guy, took me aside and says, Mr. Peña, you probably noticed that we're all wearing dark suits. And I appreciate it, and I thanked him very much. And so, but I used to say, I'm an American, you can't hurt my feelings. Just give me the fucking money. The best is when a mother turns on a child. I mean, I get my nuts off. When Mary Kay Cosmetic, the founder, Mary Kay, turned on her boy, I had a permanent hard-on for 6 months. I've seen mother turn on child. I've seen children turn on mother. I've seen children turn on father, and I've seen brother turn on brother. If prayer worked, if religion worked, we wouldn't be in this motherfucking room. And who are the most religious? The poorest. And the Catholic Church has its hand so far up my ass, I'm surprised it's not coming out my mouth. They own me. Fuck them over. How many times did I tell you, in the healthcare, assisted living, home care, licensing transfers are hard. They vary from state to state and even sometimes county to county, province to province. With licenses are involved, 99 times out of 100, you're going to have to do a company purchase because the company already has a license. So when you buy the company, the license transfers with it. Some of you spend 4, 5, 6 months and then decide, oh fuck, I'm better off. I can't do an asset purchase. I guess I'm going to have to do a stock purchase. Now 5 months have passed. You should be able to ascertain that in one phone call in 30 seconds, but you don't. 87% of the money on the planet are managed by kids less than 30 years old. Now, can you imagine this fucking Persian monkey, guys like him managing the trillions of dollars on the planet? Does that give you any sense of safety? Are you fucking nuts? I don't care, he's the smartest 25-year-old that ever walked since Christ. He's still only 25, and the frontal lobe of his fucking brain isn't fully developed. And 87% of the fucking money on the planet is managed by monkeys like him. We're fucked. We're just absolutely fucked. And as Vinegar would say, not in a good way. Oh, you disclose everything. This is not, you're not home. This is not a petroleum station butt fuck. And we have a lot of kids that get in trouble because they don't disclose, partially through their ethnicity. They're so used to doing shit under the table, brown envelope, backhander, they get in trouble. I don't condone it at all, but I understand it. 9 times out of 10 when you get in trouble, it's based on your ethnic background because that's the way you learn to do business growing up. For the Dutch, they just have a black heart. They invented the first scam, the tulips. 1535 to 1537. One of the great scams of all time. And when you want to do a deal bad enough, you do a bad deal. Because of, you don't think it's self-sabotaging activities, but it is. They're afraid of winning, stroke losing. So you win. So now what? What are you going to do for your encore, asshole? Duh. And all this permeates your little brain. It's like when I said, I can't remember the last time I lost, and you can't remember the last time you won. And your subconscious knows that. Most of you that have used me in the past use me as a crutch and don't do shit. So that's one of your excuses. Like that other slide said, I'm too fucking old to waste my time with fucking bums. And by God, I am. Right? I'm going through the excuses you use. So they're gonna stay with you until you say yes. So they start at 800 and they give it up for 50. That's where the market is. And a meathead over here tells me, and I did some checking on, you're full of shit in the market you're in. You're either lying or stupid or both, because that is not the market. I made a few phone calls last night I knew I was right. I know what the market is and almost everything. You can buy all day long, 3 to 5 times EBITDA, except for some of the high-tech shit. And yours is certainly not a high-tech shit. Yours is the lowest tech, the lowest of the lowest, no teeth, a patch over their eye, and a unloaded gun on their hip. 3 to 5. And they've been buying companies 3 to 5 for over 100 years. And you want to pay 8. You want to pay 10. You want to pay... What the fuck? It's our market. You understand what I'm saying? It's not easy to get a gold fucking medal at the Olympics, even though these are going to be 5-year Olympics. And do you realize how much that fucked up the careers of these athletes? Having trained world-class athletes, I'm glad I'm not training any of these guys right now. Fuck! Their whole life, for one time in summer of 2020, it's canceled. Some people have 6, 8, 12, 15 years training, and it's canceled. The miracle kid. So there are miracles, and you still have hope, guys. Not much, and I don't think it's funny. I'm not gonna waste the few years I have left in coaching with fucking bums. I have a disdain for coders. It's a hand job. They learned it in 3 days. 5, 6 interviews, and they got the job. Oh, he's Michelangelo. Only Michelangelo could learn it. That's horseshit. Brain surgery, Panama. You wait, and I'll do one of your brains for free. I won't even charge you. You got a twitch and you want to get rid of it? Come to me. Come see me in Panama. I know that once you taste the blood, you'll never be the same. You just won't. When you do 40 deals in 2 years, you are a humping motherfucker. You pay the price for action. And when you get out there, and when I tell you, I want you to rip their fucking heads off and shit down their neck, I mean it. And it's awful difficult to keep the shoulders when you got the head ripped off. It's awful difficult to keep, unless it's a little guy, like the Persian pervert, it's hard to keep it, and you gotta lean forward, and then the shit won't come out because your ass is puckered up. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. And I'll make sure you get all this, YouTube, you sorry cunts that are taking a fucking holiday off like sorry pieces of shit that you are. Okay, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I had to get that off my chest. Those of you that don't think money can buy happiness are fucking crazy. Look at how happy my wife looks.